Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
And no Kirk again.
No Kirk again, but supposedly back next week. That's what we heard.
Supposedly, yeah.
He said that last week.
Yeah, we can't hold him to it because he does not deliver. I mean, he delivers frames, but nothing else.
Yeah, all you people ordering his frames, you're ruining his attendance.
Yeah, you're ruining this podcast.
Yeah.
No, you're making the podcast better.
Thank you.
You're just ruining his attendance.
Exactly, yes, thank you.
Way
Qualifier. Yes. So, without him, we will, of course, be going through the news, the new releases, which is ridiculously large this week. There are a lot of games.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, which makes up for the fact that what we've been playing is quite sparse. But still interesting, still Tears of the Kingdom in
Still got Zelda.
Yeah, so
yeah,
do you. So do you. And our feature this week is another rendition of Eddy's Real Deal. But this time it's the Game Pass edition.
Which is an interesting real deal because they're all on Game Pass, so therefore all
Included.
free to a certain extent if you have Game Pass.
Yes, yeah.
So it's
What a deal.
Great deal. Yeah.
For your £9.99 subscription, what are the best deals once included? That's what we're going with, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do it, yeah.
That's it.
perfect. But first, we should probably kick off with the quick news.
Yes, let's do that. First one, and I'm looking at Eddie for this one because I know Pete's already got it. Death Stranding is free on the Epic Games Store until the 25th of May. So go and get it right now if you're listening on the Wednesday. I assume it's going to still be available on the Thursday. But yeah, Death Stranding, fantastic game. Get it. Go get it, Eddie. I'm talking to you now.
Already
Go get it.
gone in it. Downloaded it, and apparently I needed to re-download the launcher because it's been so long. I obviously wiped it from my computer as well. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, finally, you can play Death Stranding. I need you to play that. I need to hear what you think about
Yeah,
Death
probably
Stranding.
because so many people say it's shit, but then you love it. So
Fucking love it.
the walking
love it.
simulator.
It's yeah. Say no more. You'd play it and then tell me it's awesome. That's what I want from you. Next up, a voice actor has claimed that Alan Wake 2 is going to be released in October. We're getting quite a lot of voice actors coming out recently and saying things like that.
Yeah.
And also, Lords of the Fallen, the remake of that, is been announced for coming out in October as well. So October looks to be a month that's shaping up after, and September's looking fucking good as well. So a couple of good months up there. Mortal Kombat 1, which is one of the games coming out, I think, in September, is going to be on the Switch, which was surprising for a lot of people, I think. But it's also going to be the second official $70 game. Of course, we're not counting the unofficial first game, which was the Skyrim Anniversary / Deluxe Edition or whatever it's called. Not counting that one. But yeah, the second official $70 game. Now, that does imply, which may or may not be true, but it does imply that they will be using the bigger cartridge size to get more of the game on the cartridge. So that is always a good thing. So that was I think that was the reason behind Tears of the Kingdom being the first $70 game, the fact that they were using a larger cartridge to get it all on the game.
That's the excuse, at least. Yes.
Yeah, but I think somebody's actually taken it apart and it was using the 32 gig cartridge. So, yeah, there we go. Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, there is an item duplication glitch in the game that people can manipulate if you so wish. It hasn't been patched yet as of the time of recording. It's a single-player game, so play it however you want. I do think it's weird to use it. I do think if I used it, I would hate myself. But if you've got less time and if you've got some diamonds or you've got something that's worth a lot that you want to sell, you can look it up on YouTube and duplicate the stuff and sell it and get some money. So if you've got a problem, do that.
I never understood when people do that.
Well, I can understand it if people haven't got that. Sometimes in a game, and Zelda is one of those games where you need an item. Let's say you need to buy an outfit or something, and it's just ridiculously expensive, and you might feel like that might be an indication that you would need to go somewhere else, do some other things first or whatever. But it can just be a grind on people's time.
Yes.
Especially if you just want to do the main quest.
I once watched Pete for over an hour just creating knives on Skyrim.
Or just to get smithing up.
Was it smithing, Pete? Is that why you did it? Or was it something
Iron
funny?
knives. Yeah, smithing.
Yeah.
Hey, it was like the easiest way to level straight away in Skyrim at that point. It was
You
just
did it, all right.
grind smithing.
But the value, Pete, that you got out of that, like if you could just click a button and be level 99 smithing, that wouldn't be okay.
No, definitely
want
not.
that.
Whereas if you press
earn it.
A and then sit on your phone for an hour, you feel like you've achieved something.
Surprisingly, you do. We live in a weird, interesting times, but surprisingly, you do. Activision have shut down a large fan-made COD project named SM2 with a cease and desist order. They've worked on it for the last 2 years. For some reason, people think this is surprising. I don't. When people start doing these projects, I don't know what they expect. And then people calling it out like Activision are the worst company in the world, and it's like, I
think it's just one of those things that I don't think people are surprised. They're just angry, and therefore that turns into surprise. They go like, "Oh, I can't believe they've done it." Well, you can, because as soon as you think about it, of course they've done it.
Yeah,
It's
like
that-
why? Yeah.
It's that bit of modding and not modding, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
really, that's what they're doing, is creating a large mod and not expecting payment generally to do so.
Yep.
So for them, it's kind of like, why would you even bother? You know what I mean?
But also
Like,
when you've got a company that's potentially going for an acquisition and everything.
yes.
I don't know. Like, it must be to start a project like that. Yes, pretty cool, especially for the people that are involved, that like designing the maps and getting all the weapons in, like amalgamating the games and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's great, but they're gonna shut it down, aren't they? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if it's
a thing.
Activision Blizzard, you'd assume they would. So
Yeah. So if you've made it widely known enough, then that is
Yeah.
Anyway, rumours are abound that GTA 6 will be releasing between April 2024 and March 2025. I think that was something to do with a statement made around financial years or something like that. So it's looking like it could possibly be coming next year.
Do we believe it though? Does GTA 6 not sort of seem like it's going to hang just out of reach?
I would put it more 2025 in. I would have put it 2025 in my head,
Fair.
but especially since they make
2035,
so much money on GTA 5. So
Exactly. Yeah.
So GTA. Did I say GTA 5 a minute ago? Yeah, GTA 6. I put it 2025. Overwatch 2. It was getting a PvE mode.
Yes.
That's now been scrapped. Again,
Yes.
Activision Blizzard, like a lot of bad press, isn't it? A lot of bad bloody press because the cynic goes, "Oh, you made Overwatch 2, you put in all like additional microtransactions in this free-to-play thing. You said there was going to be PvE, and now they're just not doing any of that, and now you've just got a potentially worse version of the game
Yes.
rocking around." So. Not a good look, but we don't play it, so
We don't care.
We don't care.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Sozzle.
Yeah. Another big thing that people have been talking about for the last couple of days is that Sony supposedly have been stockpiling cash or getting ready for some potential acquisitions. I think there was an article in the Financial Times. I don't know how people come to these conclusions. Maybe there's some insider knowledge there. Like, one big thing to note is that if acquisitions were happening, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Square Enix or Konami or something," if that were happening, if you hear about it, it's not going to be a thing because that's insider trading. So it's unlikely to ever get leaked.
Yes.
So if there are heavy rumors of something, it's probably not real.
Yeah.
And it's hard because stockpiling cash and things like that, like a lot of acquisitions are on earnouts, like payments over time and hitting targets and things like that. It's not necessarily, when people talk about like cash buys and so, I'm very skeptical over all of that. Like, how do people know this stuff? So pinch of salt, but could be new acquisitions for Sony coming. Spider-Man 2 is a single-player game. It's not co-op. That's the quick news story. I'm not sure who needed to hear that, but the internet needed to.
Okay.
Fine.
That has been all over the internet.
Huge news.
For somebody out there that needed to hear that, it's not co-op. And lastly, the quick news: Call of the Crusade, Phase 3 of Wrath of the Lich King Classic, what Pete loves, is dropping on June the 20th.
Yes, indeed.
Has that just been announced, Pete?
A couple of days ago, yeah. I think, or maybe even yesterday, actually. Time is blurring into one for me. Yeah, which is good, because one, it does mean they kept their word. They've kept Phase 2 longer than it was the first time round. But it is nice to see movement now.
So that's an interesting time, is it? Because Diablo coming out as well before that, like that's a contentious time to drop, isn't it?
It is, although they've given us 2 weeks to get through Diablo. That's kind of
2 weeks. Ooh, a big 2 weeks.
That is kind of them.
Do you have to prepare for Phase 3?
Well, you can't all the way through Phase 2. You kind of are, like gearing up and everything else. It does mean lots of gold farmers will start messing with the auction house to try and make money, but otherwise it's just business as usual for everyone who's in that end game stuff. Okay,
well, something for you to look forward to anyway. Is that would that cost money?
No. It's just it's part of the expansion, so fantastic. No extra cash. None of the phases cost more.
Excellent, good stuff. Well, that's the quick news then.
Fantastic, and that leads us on to the main news, where Eddie, I think you've got another update on the CMA, right?
You're chuckling away just because I was the last one to look at the news today. So and he gets ditched the CMA.
Just so people know that we have the news stories like listed on our document to pick, and Eddie's left with the CMA one every week.
Hey, there was a phase where I took a lot of the Activision Blizzard stuff because I thought I should. And I'm now bored of it, so now it gets left.
I was surprised to actually see, because I usually take like a short story because I can't be asked and I get to pick first. But I was surprised to see that this one wasn't for you, Pete. But there we go.
Yes.
I don't mind it because it's government. If it's government, I don't mind. So
that's fair enough.
Let's move on. It's Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or to people outside of the UK, it's like the head of the government treasury, or to oldie-timey people, it's Master of Coin.
Like
Master of Coin.
Yeah.
He spoke at the British Chambers of Commerce annual conference yesterday about the CMA decision to block the Activision deal. Activision Blizzard thing that we talk about every week. He highlighted the fact that the CMA was an independent body from the government, meaning he and it could disagree on its decisions, but that this independence still came with a responsibility to look at the bigger picture. So he said, "I would not want to undermine that at all, but I do think it's important all our regulators understand their wider responsibilities for economic growth. I think one of the reasons companies like Microsoft and Google want to invest in the UK is because we have independent regulators that are not controlled by politicians, and therefore they can be confident that there will be a level playing field. I would not want to undermine that at all, but I do think it's important our regulators understand their..." What? He definitely didn't say that twice. I don't know why I've put that in again. Maybe it's so important that I need to think. He's basically... That's, the most British politician way of saying we're not happy that that was the decision. This does come a day after the CMA's bosses faced an absolute grilling at the British Chambers of Commerce annual conference, where loads of MPs just basically grilled them about their decisions. And to be honest with you, a lot of them made it look like they didn't agree with the deal. But hey, what do you think? I think it's quite refreshing that.
I think. Do you think it's almost a damage limitation statement, because it is undermining the CMA by saying that, but it's almost saying because there was that thing of like, Britain's closed for business to tech firms. That was kind of the message that Microsoft kind of put out there, and this is Jeremy Hunt saying, "Oh no, it's not. No, it's not.
Well,
It's
remember, it was Jeremy Hunt's government that said, I think it was like last year, that the UK will be like a perfect haven.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley, for tech companies and whatnot. So they really need to show that they don't, even if they do agree with it, they need to show that they don't. So, because else that comment last year was
Agreed.
absolute bullshit, wasn't it?
Yeah, so is this, Pete, in your mind, a case of man does job?
Yes, massively so. It is exactly his job to do this. That said, in this case, I do agree with him. As we know from last week, I think it was a bit ridiculous, this one. So, quite happy to see the statement, but it is definitely just his job remit. Like,
yeah, we've been over this, and I think those who, the decision's kind of made in my, like, I've seen a lot of commentary this week saying like, oh, well, this puts pressure on the CMA. The decision's the decision, isn't it? And the Microsoft's appeal would just be process led, and is unlikely to succeed. So, like, it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't pressure. Like, the decision's been made, as far as I'm aware.
Nothing is permanent. So I'd assume there is a mechanism to cancel it, but I doubt this is the thing that does it.
Yeah, because also this would completely like, the CMA is an independent body, and it's there for it. So it wouldn't have, you wouldn't think it would have undertaken this decision lightly, and the decision is the decision. Like, I know things probably are reversible, but I don't think there's been a precedent set for them just coming out and saying, okay, we'll go the other way. Yeah. And for an appeal to be successful, there would have to be kind of process-led rather than just an argument, to be like we were saying before. And the CMA specifically came out after the European Commission said A-OK. They specifically came out and said, no, we stand firm by our position that the European Commission's view would essentially ruin cloud gaming for 10 years.
The 2% of the overall gaming market that they're really worried about. Yeah, but
you go on.
I was just going to say, I don't think it is a pressure mechanism. I think it's damage limitation, but I would assume there is something that could make it non-permanent. Just I don't think that's going to happen now.
Yeah. There is the what has been put forward by a lot of armchair people, analysts watching this is the fact that if the FTC do approve the deal, could there be the potential that Microsoft complete the deal regardless and just not action anything in the UK for like games being on Game Pass and stuff like that. Activision games rather. But equally, I don't know whether there's the potential for them doing anything which is non-cloud based. So they can put the normal games on Game Pass, but just not the other games on the cloud system or something like that. I think it gets awfully messy. We don't know what the potential of what they could do instead is.
Complete withdrawal from the UK.
I think
leave us on an island.
I think someone said a couple of weeks ago that that's the problem with the CMA's decision is it doesn't expand cloud gaming. If anything, it hinders it, which is not. I know the CMA's decision was based on it should be more open, but it is damaging it in a weird way. What do you think about the UK's decision making process in the future? Because what a lot of the MPs were saying to the CMA bosses quite abruptly was, you made this decision without the thought of the UK government and the expansion of businesses and whatnot. Because that is quite an important thing.
That is tied into their independence, though, isn't it? That is literally the whole point.
But what I'm saying, Pete, is what I guess I'm saying is, should it not be then independent? Because they haven't thought about the UK's businesses and economy and whatnot.
I think it's a great point. Yeah, I think it's a great point.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I'd say the independence is a necessary thing to get impartial decisions, in theory, but maybe, This is going well beyond our scope.
No, I
like
this. I think that question you've just posed, Eddie, I think they are an independent body, and therefore they should be acting independently like they are. It is their decision that this would harm. Their remit is to look at the industry. Yeah. Now, the fact that Jeremy Hunt is saying this, I think he's doing this to just state that the UK is open for business, like Mando's job. But the words he's saying, they shouldn't consider that wider picture, because then that is them not being independent from the government.
Yes,
that's exactly, I think, the point you're both making. Like that is it. They're not being independent, so it's kind of a mute point in itself. But if the deal has to bypass, if they wanted to complete this deal regardless, which I don't think they would. I think if the UK is a no-go, I think the whole thing falls apart in my mind. I think it's just too messy then. But let's say they did want to go ahead. I think it would still be excellent for gaming, because my whole thing in this, and I do disagree a lot with people who say like, oh, Xbox fans are only interested in getting free games on Game Pass. No, actually, what I'm interested in is having another console that competes with PlayStation, because I think competition is key. And I think we are lacking that at the moment. And I think this is one mechanism to enable better competition. So I would be all in favour for them still completing the deal outside of the UK and us getting none of the benefits.
It is. This is the interesting thing as well, by the way. Because again, we aren't experts. We don't know what would happen if they went ahead with only the CMA as a holdout. But you've got to think, if in the entire global market the only one with an issue is us, they would go ahead with it, surely.
It depends how big, because the UK is a big market though, and it makes things incredibly messy. But yeah, I don't know. They'll have to do the numbers on it. Yeah, but the thing is, they've got a valuation of the company, and they're not maximising that valuation. They have lost money if they do that. So
yeah, good point.
That is true.
So who knows? Well, we'll find out.
They'll just come back without the UK market in a new acquisition, which the CMA has been approved, and suddenly it's a moot point again.
Yes.
Yes, but moving on. The PlayStation Summer Showcase is coming literally tomorrow or later today, if you're listening today.
Yes.
Dear God, I hate doing this.
It's Wednesday the 24th.
Wednesday
for the avoidance
24th
of doubt.
Yeah. Wednesday
There's people just
24th
logging in every night, like, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, 3 years from now, someone will do that. No. So it's airing on YouTube and Twitch on the 24th of May at 9 p.m. in the UK. Yeah. I was going to do other time zones. I can't be bothered.
No.
It's 9 p.m. in the UK. So this is an hour long. The focus is PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 games from PlayStation Studios, third-party partners, indie creators from all around the world. Cool. Yeah, this all came from the PlayStation blog. It's most likely going to be Sony's big showcase. The only one, a bit early.
Yep.
It seems, but most likely that. So we are probably looking at all the big reveals, and this is where it gets interesting. Ben, in particular, what are you hoping to see here?
I think they will show Final Fantasy 16 again, because it's just on the horizon. They will show Spider-Man 2 as their long... that we know that's coming probably September, October time, something like that. So they're going to show a lot on that gameplay-wise. I'm really hoping for... and the other thing that people are saying, which is basically a lock, would be Metal Gear Solid 3. However, we have heard from... I think it was Windows Central. I think. Maybe it wasn't. One of the big websites said that that's looking like it's multi-platform, supposedly, and not just a PlayStation exclusive. But I'm hoping for something a bit out of left field. I'm hoping for something like an Astrobot full game. I think...
Okay.
I think PlayStation needs something to get me to turn on the PlayStation, really. Obviously, I will for Spider-Man and stuff like that, but I don't think they've had a particularly strong, since God of War, they haven't really had any Horizon DLC. It's like, okay, fine. It's not been particularly strong. I'm really hoping for a barnstormer here. I'm really excited for this showcase. Can't wait. It's an hour long.
Yeah.
It's pre-recorded, so I think it's just going to be... I think it's going to be wall-to-wall bangers. I think they're really going to go for it. And I would love The Last of Us multiplayer to turn up.
I was wondering. That. Surely there's going to be something on it, you would think.
Yeah,
even if it's a teaser. Like,
you bloody hope so, because it's been fucking ages since we've heard about that.
very true.
Eh?
Very true.
One thing to note on this before we move on is that Pure Dead PlayStation are doing their episode 2 of their podcast, and they're doing that live straight after the showcase. So check them out on Twitter, Pure Dead Gaming, to find out more. But yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, so they'll be commenting on the showcase straight afterwards. So check that one out.
Fantastic. And as a reminder for everybody, this is, of course, a couple of weeks before Summer Games Fest, which is the 8th of June. And a couple of days after that, we've got the Xbox showcase on the 11th.
Yeah, looking forward to all of that.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
It's suddenly snuck up on us.
Yeah, love it. I love we'll still call it E3 season, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Third big story of the week then. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's sold over 10 million copies in 3 days. So it's become the fastest selling game in the Zelda series. Mm-hmm. It was also Europe's fastest selling Switch game ever, and fastest ever selling Nintendo game in Europe. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty incredible numbers for a system in its 7th year. I know it's got the maximum user base at that time, but it's on a fucking 2015 graphics chip. You know, it's fucking insane that it's still pumping out games of great quality.
Yeah, but it's going to be. This is going to be the most people that have ever had a Switch in their hands. I mean, it's gonna.
It and to be honest, I real said it's incredible, but it's actually probably, bar the 3DS, it's the most anyone's ever owned a Nintendo console or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, people had a Wii and everything, but that was generally everyone bought a Wii for the novelty and the innovation, but it wasn't a massive software seller.
And I liked your first comment was Zelda top selling Zelda game. I mean, when was the last Zelda out? Like
4 years, 5 years,
2017.
Oh, was it? Okay.
6
Well, there
years,
weren't even 10 million people on the planet then, so go over it.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that was actually release for this release title for the Switch, so there wouldn't have actually been 10 million Switches out in 3 days. You would imagine. So it might be.
Would have been a bit tricky for that one to keep
when
up.
you delve
You're
into
just
the numbers,
saying shit. It's like when a football statistic is like he scored the most goals in the second half of December. Well, that's not a stat.
It was a fucking Eurogamer article. What do you want?
What I also like about this though is like making a 2015 graphics chip. That's just because they haven't upgraded their graphics chip and they don't go for high intensity graphic games.
Yeah, but the point on that is the point that I'm making on that is we've got we've got great next gen consoles all over the place.
Yeah.
We're getting new games be released all the time, but people are still like. I think this game looks absolutely wonderful. It has its own
inimitable style, yeah.
Yeah, and performance-wise, like there are no. I mean, we mentioned the duplication glitch earlier, but it's not. Like there are no bugs in this game. Like I don't think anyone's come up with like any fucking bugs. It's amazing. There are performance drops for frame rate issues and things like that, but it's widely accepted because this is working the Switch to max capacity, actually. And when the next one comes out, I'm damn sure they'll have like it'll either be backwards compatible or there'll be a performance patch upgrade or something like that. And I bet it will look absolutely fucking wonderful. Like it's an art style that very much works for the game, obviously. But yeah, it's
When you say it looks beautiful, do you mean like on the TV? As well?
I play it on monitor and handheld. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, and it still looks really nice.
Well, my monitor is obviously 28-inch monitor, and it looks phenomenal on it.
Oh, wow.
I think it looks really, really nice. And on the OLED Switch, it really looks nice. I did go back and play Breath of the Wild not too long ago, probably like a year ago, and I was like, ooh. Like it wasn't as good as I remembered. But this I think looks really nice. Like, and I was surprised at how good it looked on the monitor as well, because I thought blowing it up might not look as good. But yeah, I was really, really liking how it looked. So, yeah, that's the story, guys. That's the story.
Okay. Fantastic. I like the fact that you ended slightly deflated as well.
Well,
Excellent.
I did, because it wasn't... I mean, even when I was writing this up, the notes here, I was like... After I'd written the first 2 lines of like, oh, it's fastest selling, I was like, well, there's nothing more to say. It's hardly worth a main news story, but I can't go back. I'm through the looking glass on it.
You just thought it's the smallest
sentences.
one. Eddie will do the
Yes.
CMA shite.
Exactly, and I don't want to do anything larger than that. So there we go.
And we're on to new releases, Eddy, so it's back to you.
Back to me, and it's a fucking big week, so you get ready for my voice loads. That was weird.
Sorry.
Let's start with a weird one. Dark Quest 3 coming out on PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, May 24th. A roguelite tabletop that mixes card-based exploration with turn-based combat. Create your party, draw adventure cards. I've got these new headphones, guys, and I can't hear my voice. Like, I hate it. And the way Audacity works is you can't hear... Like, I don't know if I'm saying words right now. Like, only by your reactions do I know. I can hear vibrations. So,
Yeah.
I just let me know if I've got too much phlegm in my mouth, because that's the thing that is making me paranoid right now. Roll dice and fight monsters to defeat the sorcerer and his magic. It's been on PC early access since May 2022. It's mostly positive as well on Steam, which is pretty cool. The last one was very positive on Steam, so people like these games. The visuals look like they're quite simple but polished, if that makes sense. There's 13 areas. You can choose by your party's strengths. If your strengths are towards one way, you go to, I like that. It's tactical-based, turn-based combat with controlled random numbers, which I fucking love in games. I don't know why. There's 80 plus combat cards ranging from spells, weapons, potions, and equipment. I guess I'm just rattling through what it's got now, but I think it looks okay. What do you guys think?
I'm happy for you that you think it looks okay.
Oh, wow. Pete, I thought
No.
you were going to be the one to... Well, actually, Ben likes a random generation in games, so maybe Ben can help me then.
I am usually all over this shit.
Ben, there's cards in it, Ben!
I know, but it
there's
looks
cards
gash.
in it, Ben.
The only thing that holds it together for me is that there were 2 previous games, so must be all right.
There you go.
See, even saying it looks terrible, I think is unfair. It doesn't. It looks like a flat 4 out of 10. You know
I don't
what
think
I
it
mean?
looks.
Like,
I
it's
don't
not
visually. I
gonna
don't think it looks terrible. I
disappoint.
don't think visually it looks that bad. It's just.
This is it. I don't think anything about it looks that bad. It's just overwhelmed by its own mediocrity.
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah, that's summed up nicely.
Overwhelmed by it.
Yes.
Overwhelmed.
Would it help you that if I said it's a £15 game, so it's not like a...
It helps nothing, Eddie. I don't want to play it.
That actually still feels too expensive to me. I'm being very mean to this.
You are being very mean.
I know,
to
but
this.
now we've started
being
on the
honest.
mean train. We started on the mean train. We
being
gotta.
a nasty boy today, Pete, and I don't respect that going into these new releases. Right, I'm gonna turn mean because there are a lot of bad games here. Cassette Beasts coming out on Xbox and Switch May 28th. Collect awesome monsters to use during turn-based battles in this open-world RPG. Combine any 2 monster forms using Cassette Beasts' fusion system to create unique and powerful new ones. I know, it was just so many awkward words in a row. It was just awful. This came out on PC in April this year. The visuals are kind of a cross between Pokemon and Octopath Traveler. If you don't know what that is, look this game up. Turn-based battles in this open-world RPG. I wrote that, I don't know what it means. But basically, you collect and battle monsters. There's also a bit of hype around this game, I believe. Ben, I believe you're the one that told me that.
Yeah, well, if you look on Steam, it's got like 1,500 views and reviews, and it's overwhelmingly positive. Overwhelmingly positive. And on Metacritic, it's got an 83. A lot of people are calling this the best Pokemon game in years.
This is it is just Pokemon, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Does it have voice acting?
I don't believe so from the art style, but I would love it to.
If it did, that would be fantastic, wouldn't you? Like,
yes.
Just beating Pokemon at being Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really very good. I heard, I think on God of the Geek, they think it was God is a Geek. They talked about it and they loved it. I think they called it the best Pokemon game.
Fair. I did one of my favourite reviews on it was, this feels like Pokemon but with a soul. I like that.
That's what we've all been looking for, so yeah, not bad. Okay, that's cool. Next one, Death from Above, coming out on PC only, May 25th. I've never known a game to tackle ongoing major issues before, but this is a game where you're a drone operator. Sorry, I'm having to wing this because Pete deleted the fucking blurb, so that would have all made a perfect sense if I could read the blurb. You're a drone operator in Ukraine fighting Russian forces that are invading. It's only 90 minutes long, and it's a single-player arcade-style drone game where you literally just control the drone, go over to tanks and blow them up. It's all very simple. But what's I don't know if it's nice. I don't know why I'm saying that. But the donations go to organisations in Ukraine to help fight the war. So, I mean, that is nice because obviously, but then I'm saying it's nice to donate to kill other people. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I'm going political or not. I don't know what's happening. But it's quite a simple game. I will say that. Have you guys had a look at this one?
I have had a look. Yeah, I think as a game, like objectively as a game, I don't think it's anything to write home about. But as you said, donations go to Ukraine, and I think it's more about it's something that's been hustled together quite quickly.
I think exactly that, Ben. I think as a game, no one is buying this game. But if you want to contribute to the conflict in a very positive way, and you're a gamer, then pick this up, play it. You might have 90 minutes of fun.
Yeah, I will say I do quite like the idea of like drone command as a way of doing it. If you know.
Yeah, Pete. When I saw the blurb, when I saw the blurb, I did go, "Hang on, this could be like I don't know, like a Tom Clancy game with drones involved." And I thought this could be good. Obviously, then I was quite disappointed, but yeah, I think you're onto something there. It could be quite a good concept for maybe a proper, like, full-fledged game.
And it is...
I don't know. I never pick up the bomb drone in Warzone. Can't be asked for that shit. Leave that to Eddy.
I quite like the bomb drone, actually.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you.
Thought Eddy would like tactical things like the bomb drone.
Yeah, Ben likes running into an open field and dying.
Yeah, that's my preferred method.
Oh, there was a medic drone. Right, Ben, right to Activision. Medic drone.
Right, that's what we need. Okay.
I'll
get on it after this pod. After I've edited it.
I'll just be driving drones around, reviving you and Jack. Lovely.
Yes.
Right, moving on. Do Not Feed the Monkeys 2099 is coming out on May 25th on PC and Switch. We talked about this in March, about coming out on PC. It got delayed. And now it's coming out, and it's also coming out on Switch as well. It's that live sim choices game where I watched like 2 hours of footage and I just saw people clicking on things. So, but people who played the first one, which I think was called Do Not Feed the Monkeys, loved it, and it was like very positive on Steam and stuff. So yeah, I can't see any reason to play a game like this, but people like it, so there you go.
Yes. The first one is described as a digital voyeur simulator.
Yes, like, that's exactly it, yeah.
I don't get it, but you do you. You do you.
Yeah, it looks pretty wank to me, but free
Whoa!
So.
What?
Saying what we're all thinking. All right.
Jeez, Ben, be more political, come on. Right,
Apologies.
Let's move on. Hello, Good Boy. Coming out on PC, that sounded weird to say. Coming out on PC and Switch, May 25th. A lost soul and his dog set out on an otherworldly trek through the afterlife in this wholesome, non-linear adventure game. So it's a simplistic adventure puzzle game where you and your cartoon little cute dog. The visuals are quite simple, but okay, if that makes sense. The gameplay...
They are heartwarming as hell, though, aren't they? Like...
Heartwarming. Yes,
God.
yes. I don't want to say charming, but I'm going to say it. It's charming.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'm all about it. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, Ben, I've put in my notes. I'm not going to shit on it because it's clearly not designed for me, and it does look really charming and, like, nice. So
I think this would be lovely in between big games, or if you didn't have anything big on the horizon, you wanted an indie game to tide you over. Kind of like how I bought Dredge in that situation. I think this could be nice.
I was going to say that garbage Fox game that you rate so highly.
Okay, not garbage. Brilliant game. Excellent game. Yeah, fine.
Well, how about this for you, Ben? And you've got a dog. Surely
Yes,
this
exactly.
is your game.
I am sympathetic to any game with a dog in, and I think Pete is as well.
Massively so, yeah. Although I did think in Another Worldly Trek, if they threaten the dog, and I'm not able to have vicious RimWorld-style repercussions for it, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, no, you can't. The dog will be threatened at some point, but
I can't deal with that unless
You're
I can then harvest their organs and sell them on the black market.
yes, understandable.
What is happening today, guys? We are we're going otherworldly.
That was a callback to the RimWorld story from many moons ago.
Ooh, jeez. You have to
There's
be
a deep callback.
You have to be a hardcore fan to understand that one. Whoa. Go back to episode 4 to know what we're talking about. Right, let's move on to another Hello Neighbor VR Search and Rescue. Coming out on PSVR 2, PSVR. May 25th. A suspenseful, family-friendly VR experience set in the Hello Neighbor universe. So it's a VR horror puzzle game. It has a dynamic range of puzzles and challenging environmental obstacles. This could be quite good in VR, do you think?
Well, VR need some fucking PSVR needs some fucking games, so
Yeah.
cool.
Might as well throw shit at the wall then.
Yeah, throw a lot at the wall. See.
And Hello Neighbor is a well-known, respected franchise. So.
It's almost a franchise at this point, right?
Yeah, I'd still call it a franchise. We call anything a franchise.
Yeah, we call single games franchises
Yeah,
the week.
yeah. Pete, did you call it a single game franchise? So, there you go. What do you want?
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
start
it
of
looks-
a franchise, essentially.
It's very difficult to watch videos like we do of these games before talking about them and get a full sense, because VR is a special case and it's amazing when you're actually doing it. So I think if you've got a PSVR 2, you have to throw yourself into games like this, don't you?
It's the only games they've got, so yes.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's move on to a franchise game. The Lord of the Rings Gollum. See, I'm just easily going in between these. This is really good. Well done, Chris. Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, May 25th. Play as Gollum on his quest to retrieve his precious. Oh, precious is capitalised. Well, I guess...
Yes, because the name for the ring.
Yeah, because he calls it his precious.
Yeah,
but is he using that as a noun? I don't think he is.
Well,
right?
it turns out he's using it as a name. I don't know if that's in the books when he... Is it capitalised in the books, Pete?
Someone
I don't think so, to be honest. Although when he says it, yes, probably.
Right.
But he's saying
As
my
in when it's
precious
dialogue.
because it's precious to him. He's not calling it a name. He's
This doesn't matter.
It does matter. Well, actually, I was going to say it's in the title. It's not. You will need to climb the mountains of Mordor. That's a capital. Sneak around Mirkwood and make difficult choices. Who will gain the upper hand? The cunning Gollum or the innocent Schmeagol? Oh, I should have done all of that in Gollum's voice.
You should have, yeah.
I apologise, guys.
You
I
could do
really
your
don't
comments in the Gollum voice.
No. Action and stealth game. That's its notes. The visuals look terrible. The characters look even worse than terrible. I don't have a word for it. The gameplay footage looks really quite boring. Nothing about what I see here makes me want to play it, and that's a shame because I absolutely love Lord of the Rings games. So, but what do you guys think?
I used to love a Lord of the Rings game back in the day. I think it's Two Towers.
Great game.
That game
that
on
was
PlayStation 2 was fucking phenomenal. Playing through that film was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Even the Fellowship and the Cave Troll bit. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, good stuff.
This game looks fucking awful.
It's terrible, doesn't it? Like, really, really bad.
Yeah, and Gollum is like, surely the stealth games. I don't get on with stealth games. A lot of people do, so that's absolutely fine. Gollum is like the worst of the characters to do a game about. In particular, like this is. It hasn't got a lot going for it, I don't think. I
was a
wouldn't be surprised if
strange
it's
choice.
reviewed badly.
I think it will review very, very badly. I mean, it looks like a poor choice of game executed poorly. That's what it looks like to me.
Yes.
We are living up to our name this week, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Oh shit. I mean, same publishers as Inclinati that you quite liked, Pete. Though, so there you go.
I mean, you
that's
had
true.
some good and some bad to say about the game. But,
Yes, yeah.
All right, I'll
Maybe
move
that's
on.
what I feel
I'll
about
move
this
on.
one as well.
I'll move on. Let's try and get some positivity going. One Piece Odyssey Reunion of Memories DLC coming out on PCs, PlayStations, and Xboxes May 25th. There's a new battle system called Limited Order Battles that emphasises a more strategic way of fighting. There you go. If you were looking forward to that one.
I thought One Piece Odyssey looked quite good before, but yeah. But obviously you need to know the anime to really get into it. So.
Hated the look of this one. I hated the big eye look that they were.
Yeah, but it's the anime, isn't it? So if you're into it, then you'll be into this.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like it to like it. Next one, another DLC, Solasta, Crown of the Magister, Palace of Ice DLC coming out on PC, Xboxes May 25th. There's a new campaign, there's 4 new environments, there's 2 new ancestries, and loads of new monsters to kill. There you go. Let's move on to a game though. Tennis Manager 2023. Ben, I'm going to come straight to you. It's coming out on PC May 25th. Discover the new Tennis Manager. Be a manager. Build your academy. Recruit your players. Develop their talents. And serve your colours in the new World Cup of Tennis. Very good. Serve your colours. Did you get that? Because serve, like you serve tennis. Yeah, that's really fucking clever, that. The database and, like, analytics and all that looks fucking detailed. I'm talking, like, level that you could delve deep into this game. You've got 3D and simulating games, so you can actually, like, watch the game as it goes on. There's a player creation. There's an academy creation that actually looks really cool. It's another manager game that I love the look of.
Don't you think it looks rather like the actual UI looks very Football Manager-esque?
It does. It's like
100%.
that dark blue look that they had like a few years ago. Like, in fact, I think it's almost ripped straight off like 3 years. If I took like Football Manager from 3 years ago, I think this would be directly ripped off it.
I'm pretty sure I've got an earlier version on my wish list.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never played it. It's always been one that... But you know what puts me off? The fact that they talk about the World Cup of Tennis.
A non-existent thing, yes.
Like, I want them to... Can't it be a manager, but then just have... If they haven't got the licenses to the competitions, can't you just, like, have the French Championship?
Yeah.
You know? Like, British Championship or something like that. Like, can't you...
Yeah, like, I played a golf game recently that just changed the names of the competitions. It just called it, like, the Old Town Cup or something instead of like TPC Sawgrass or something.
What's the international tennis stuff called? Sorry, it's called the
So you got the Davis Cup.
The Davis Cup, yeah. And like, does anybody really? I mean, not a tennis fan, but people don't care about that as much as the other stuff, do they?
Yeah, I am a tennis fan and I don't care about it.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So why are they advertising the World Cup of Tennis, which is essentially the Davis Cup, right?
I mean, I think it's probably even got its own format. I think they just. Basically, I doubt they could do a game based on one player that you're managing, or like a roster of players, unless they did it in one competition. But I've struggled to do.
So I'm looking at this and I go, "Oh, the game looks good." Look, never has a blurb made me not want to buy the game, and that's what's happened.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they do repeat it a lot throughout all their stuff as well. It's the World Cup of Tennis, man. It's there.
Okay. You know what worries me a little bit is I'm not going to buy it because 2022 is still £32. You know what really makes me like? There's only 99 reviews online.
Well,
it's because £32.
That's not many reviews. It's almost like they're deleting them or something. I don't know. Can they do that?
Maybe they should rethink this World Cup thing.
Right, you're just going to bang that drum, aren't you? Let's move on then. Forspoken in Tanta We Trust DLC coming out on PC and PlayStation's May 26th. It takes you deep into the past of Athia and the pivotal event that set the events of the original venture in motion. You can have new powers, new challenges to overcome, and a powerful ally by your side. There you go.
The videos of this actually, like, they look really nice, but it's really good. But Forspoken was an okay looking game. It did not look as good as the trailers and everything.
Oh god, yeah! Do you remember that first trailer? I fell in love with it then.
Yeah, it looked nothing like that. It's not a terrible looking game, but it's just also nowhere near the level that was presented. Maybe it was on PC, maybe it was, but not on PS5. It's also not a bad game. All the bad press it got in the world, it is not a bad game. I played it. Donnie played it and talked about it on the show. Donnie completed it. Yeah. So if you like Forspoken, that's out.
Is anyone still playing Forspoken?
I don't know.
We're going to find out. We'll find out.
There's so many killer games out at the moment.
Yeah.
None of which talked today. None of which talked about today.
Yeah. And to be fair as well, once something loses momentum, it must be really hard to get it back. Really hard. Yeah.
Because it's like we said about Horizon the other week, that you had to have completed the game to do the DLC. I hope for Forspoken's sake that you didn't have to complete the game to do the DLC, because that limits yourself to people who've actually completed it. Like that's a tough knock.
Yes.
So
I'm sure you don't. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Home Sheep Home, Farmageddon Party Edition. Now, guys, let me settle you into some puns, because this is a delight. Coming out on PC, Xbox's May 26th. Join Shaun the Sheep and his friends Timmy and Shirley on their epic adventure, journeying through caverns, the busy streets of London, and through outer space, all in search of the green grass of home. Now with new multiplayer modes, controller support, widescreen graphics, and much, much more. So it came out on Switch in October 2019. It's like a 2D, jumpy, awful-looking game. Looks truly terrible. But listen to this. On their website, on the Nintendo website, their sections of like key things are, let's you this. As in like a... Yeah, you get it.
You.
All new multiplayer battle. Okay, honestly, I don't know who writes these, but fucking geniuses. Lovingly lamb-made animation, not handmade.
Yeah, that one was a bit weaker, but the first
that one was weak. That was weak. What got me was that on their blurb, one of the main real selling points was widescreen graphics.
Yeah.
Ben, I mean, have you seen the game? I mean,
I have. Eddie.
I assumed on the Switch that was quite a major thing, so they just didn't.
I don't really get it, because it came out in 2019, right? And the Switch is like widescreen. I don't like nobody's. It's not 4:3. Like what? Why widescreen? I don't get it.
It's like when you see a game now, like when they go like, "Oh, your decisions matter." And you're like, "Well, you shouldn't really say that, because I think all gamers do that now." It's a bit weird that you're bragging.
That's like saying like more than 4 colours.
Or voice acted.
Oh, okay. I feel like that was a bit targeted. Right, okay. Okay, right. Moving on. Company of Heroes 3 is getting a console release. So it's coming to PlayStations and Xboxes on May 30th. It came out on PC in February, if you remember. This is the game that... Wow. I loved Company of Heroes 2 and 1. I mean, I don't think they called it 1. I think they called it Company of Heroes. But this game, holy shit. I watched the Worth a Buy video, and he absolutely slammed it. And that's why I've looked up the reviews. The reviews for it, recent reviews, are mostly negative, and all reviews, which are 10,000 of them, are mixed. So, wow. Holy shit, do people think this game is bad. But shame, because it's one of my good franchises that I've liked, but Still got a console release, though. You know.
Only the new ones, though, by the look of it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Looks shit, doesn't it?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
You never know, I might pick this up in a year or two when it's like £2 on one of the websites.
Yeah, it could be. It could come to Game Pass. Who knows?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, saucy.
I like how that always makes us enthusiastic, even though we've just commented on how shit this is.
I'm all in. There was actually a couple of really bad games there that I did look. Is this on Game Pass Day 1? No. Damn. Right, next one. Return to Grace, coming out on PC May 30th. A daring space archaeologist has just unearthed the ancient resting place for a long-lost AI god known as Grace. Really?
Yes.
Long-lost AI god, and it's called Grace. Bit odd. A venture with various fractured AI personalities as you uncover the great mystery of why she was shut down all those years ago. It's a first-person narrative adventure game. The key features are story branching, clue discovery, and character relationship. So you can kind of tell this is going to be quite a simple game. The first tag on Steam is it's a walking simulator, which apparently Ben loves. So maybe that's actually a compliment in a weird way.
I love a walking sim.
Yeah, the visuals look okay. I just think this will be really, really boring. But what do you guys think?
I thought the visuals did look okay, but I tend to agree with you because there are a lot of these types of games, I think, and I think this is one that looks like it could be okay, and you'd need to see reviews. You can't take a punt on this, I don't think.
I'd be surprised if you did.
Yeah. Be surprised.
They've only made a couple games before, and one was like a Metroidvania and stuff, so that worries me a little bit. But yeah, okay, let's move on. System Shock Remake coming out on PC May 30th. A first-person fight to the death in the depths of space. So yeah, it's the remake of the 1994 first-person shooter. The visuals actually look okay. I'm quite happy with it, and I normally don't say that for remakes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing this. There is a free demo on Steam as well. Might have to give this a little whirl, you know?
Yeah, is this one that you knew about, guys? Did you know about this game before?
No.
Not really.
Oh, no, I've heard about it. In fact, do you know what, actually, and this is weird, the thing that actually got me was the AI face. And I bet if I type in, I'm going to copy and paste it now, System Shop, I bet that was like on a poster or some shit. Or maybe even like a... I'm not seeing anywhere. Oh, no, I am! Yes! Type in System Shock, and then you'll see like the AI face. Yeah,
I'm not going to do that, but I'll trust you.
Nailed it. Yeah. So yeah, I do remember of it. Never played it.
Fine. Yeah, I think
sorry, I remember the original. I didn't realise it was being remade, is what I meant.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know the original. Again, this looked... it looked like it could be okay.
Yeah.
It's a free demo, so
yes.
What do you want?
Yeah, that's it.
Give it a try. Okay. Anything else on that one?
No.
Next one, Decarnation. Is that it? Coming out on PC and Switch, May 31st. Pete, my first note is it says it all in the blurb. Well done. Well done for deleting the blurb.
I told you there was going to be a curl.
Decarnation is a story-rich adventure horror game. Solve cryptic puzzles, fight disturbing enemies, explore a phantasmagorical world of dreams and nightmares. Pete, that's why you should have left the fucking blurb in. Just want to hear me struggle with that. And face the most terrifying monsters from the darkest parts of your soul. So yeah, it says it all in the blurb, Pete. Did you know that?
Clearly.
You bloody prick. It has 2.5D small pixelated visuals. I actually think it looks quite nice, quite polished, if you will. Once again, there's a free demo on Steam. I think this looks okay, and I don't normally say that about these kind of games. What do you guys think? You normally give these games a little bit more credit.
There's a reason I cut the blurb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and you too, Ben.
Got a free demo.
God, we did grumpy gamers this week, haven't we? Fuck my life. Have we been complimentary about any game this week yet?
One of them was wholesome and heartwarming.
One of them was wholesome and heartwarming. Yeah, that was Hello Good Boy.
Yeah. Cassette Beast.
Cassette
with
Beast,
a soul.
yeah.
Oh,
Cassette Beast.
come on, yeah, but the compliments weren't good there. I mean, we said heartwarming for one, and then
I
the other one was
enjoyed both of
Pokemon.
those.
Fuck my life. I even tried to give the first one a go. Dark Quest 3 got shot down there as well.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck that noise.
Right. Okay, fine. Last one. Doomblade, coming out on PC May 31st. Deep underground, Gloom Girl discovers Doomblade. What? A sentinel weapon hell-bent on escape after eons in chains. Together, Doom and Gloom, brilliant. Didn't see that coming. Embark on a vengeful quest to unlock the powerful abilities and destroy the Dreadlords. Once and for all in this 2D action Metroidvania. So yeah, we've got another Metroidvania. It's dark yet purple visuals because we didn't have enough purple visuals from last week's episode. It looks...
Just a comment on that, Eddie. My girlfriend did actually look up that game after you saying it's all about purple because she said, well, if I can find a screenshot which is not purple, then Eddie will buy me a free game or something.
Correct.
And she said she couldn't find...
Oh, I was just about to go, I'll get you the game, just send it over.
Nope, she couldn't find it, so yeah, you are correct.
Oh, love it. That was a big punt for me, because we all know I don't like spending money on games, so... Alright, cool. Well, this is another purple one. I'm not going to say the same here, because I bet there will be a screenshot or two, but what do you guys think? Pete, I'm going to come to you, because you don't mind these kind of games.
I don't. This one actually looks quite promising. I will say it's very Ori-like, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
So I was bound to quite like the look of it. The doom and gloom thing does annoy me. I've seen another like pairing which was Wax and Wane on something, and I was like, that irritates. Like, I don't know why, it just does. But otherwise, very promising.
I thought similarly, actually. I think the Ori comparison is obvious. There are quite a few of these types of games. I think you probably get a list online or something which would name the best kind of Ori imitators or Metroidvanias that you've never heard of, kind of thing.
Oh,
but
yeah, definitely.
this, it's PC only. It looks like it could make a great home on the Switch, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, definitely Switch game. Yeah.
But
low
maybe on the
graphics,
Steam Deck.
so
Might work really well on the Steam
There
Deck.
you go. Be perfect for a Steam Deck. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that was it for the week. So a shit ton of games, just not any good ones. My pick of the week, and this is a really tough one. It's going to be Hello Good Boy.
Yeah,
Because it's heartwarming.
It's heartwarming. It looks okay, and well, no. The only reason is because it's slightly better than all the others, and all the others are absolute shite. So
That is a lot of savagery against Cassette Beasts.
Cassette Beasts. That's right. I mean, there was a shitload of games and a lot of shit games.
Yeah.
But because there's so many, a lot of people I think will find something in there.
Exactly. Yeah, completely agree with that.
Especially if they ignore our comments and look for more positive ones. But yes, we were hateful people here. Yes. So I suppose we come on to what we've been playing. And I have to say, I'm still not playing very much, guys. I'm mostly consumed by World of Warcraft still.
Nice.
The only thing I've dipped into has been, Eddie, have you tried the Rimhammer mods for RimWorld?
Rimhammer. What's that?
Yeah,
that's the Warhammer ones.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, Pete. And it's a bit weird because I don't like the races mods. I don't know why, but I've actually heard that because there's 40k people, isn't there?
Yes, so I've played that one.
I've heard the weapons are really cool, actually.
They are. They're insane. But this is actually they're just, they're far more powerful, but the thwack is fantastic. Yeah, just noise, obviously, not in the controller as well, but it's great. But the Rimhammer set of mods is Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
So it's medieval capped technology, and like beastmen and skaven and dwarves and all that sort of stuff come into it. And it's very interesting. I've not played a huge amount of it yet, but it requires an awful lot of mod changes to work. Because you have to get rid of everything that's future tech, so that made it tricky. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's keeping me very amused in the small amounts of time I get away from project managing 25-man raids.
How does it work with the different like people and races? Do they have different stats, or is it just cosmetic? I'm
not sure. They are factions, but you also have. So they're factions, so you don't like get beastmen recruits, or I haven't so far.
Oh, I see.
But
that's
they will come and raid you. I've already had that, and you also have big monsters that turn up as well.
Oh shit!
Like Chaos Spawn, Dragon Ogres, that sort of stuff. So that's quite fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, it has been quite interesting. It's a massive revamp. It does make you kind of question whether you know the game at all for a minute. And then suddenly it works and it's okay again. But yeah, that's been really fun. But I don't feel like it's a full segment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, fair.
Apart from that, you've been World of Warcraft, you say?
Yes, yeah, lots of it. We've been trying to organise 25-person raids is really difficult when you're an adult, because who's available? Like, who's actually consistently available for that type of thing? Yeah, so it's a nightmare. So I managed to sort one out last week, but I couldn't attend. But I was the only one in my guild who couldn't. So it was like, crack on, enjoy yourselves. Yeah.
All right, but the thing, like I spoke about last week, like trying to find that forever game or whatever. Was that last week?
It was.
Yeah, I think so.
Like we speak regularly, and we talk about World of Warcraft, what you've been doing, but it's just, a game that just takes over your life like that you have to, that it seeps into your real life, that you are literally organising things, amalgamating two guilds and stuff like that. That is, that's an intensity that you don't expect with gaming, and it may not be playing it may not be playing the new Zelda, but it's hard work.
Honestly, most of it the last week has been more time on Discord than actually in game. Yeah. Just sorting stuff out.
Well, you've got
that's where we sit. New phase coming.
You've got that new one coming on the June 20th, so I suppose you're looking to amalgamate the guild properly for that.
Exactly, yeah. Be ready for it.
Yeah, cool.
Got to be done.
Yeah, I'll go next then, shall I?
You should.
I have been having a me week this week. As in, I've been playing games that I want to play, which is sad for the podcast. I apologise, but yeah, fuck you, Ben. So I've been playing Total War 3 Kingdoms. Just been hammering that probably a lot. Right?
I thought you were done with that game.
I remember you completed one and then said you thought you were done with it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you finished the campaign.
I finished the campaign, but now I am a really shit person on the hardest difficulty and the hardest.
That's the way. That's the way to play.
That's the way. And I've even been looking at the Naman expansion pack as well, and going, that will be even harder once I complete it on this one. To be honest with you, it's one of the games where I think I will always come back to, because not only do I absolutely love it. For example, I spent like fucking 3 hours the other day trying to buy Romance of the Three Kingdoms 7. But it's fucking nowhere. I mean, like, CEX say they can deliver it from fucking Scotland, but I don't have a CD anyway, CD drive, so fuck. But then I thought, like, well, to be honest with you, like, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 7 was such an amazing game, but Total War 3 Kingdoms is only, like, it's only very different in small ways, and also it has the war mechanics. So
the advantages,
so I've jumped back on it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going through all the lore again and looking up all the backstories of each general that I get, and I read their whole Wikipedia page and all references in the Romance of Three Kingdoms books and stuff. So yeah, I've gone deep. But you know what's
That's
quite
the way
good?
to go, though. That is the way to play that game.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what's quite good though, off the back of it, is because I've been going all deep with the lore and stuff, and I went so much to go right. I typed in like all games to do with Three Kingdoms, and obviously because I was like, I can't have Ben shout at me, so I was like trying to find games, and then obviously one of the suggestions that came up was of course Wolong. So I've gotten rid of Atomic Heart on my fucking Xbox because that was just the biggest waste of bloody game space I've ever seen. And I've re-downloaded Wolong, and I promise, Ben, before you shout at me, I will play it before next week.
Excellent.
It's a strong promise.
It's a promise I'm willing to break.
I don't think you'll make it past the first boss.
Do you think? Yeah, because you said it's hard, but also, do you know?
Sorry. My experience with that was you have to go all in deep, but you have to want to play it. The first boss, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Do you know what? Do you know the one thing that's really pushing me to play it is something that I think Dead Pete Punk said. I think it was him that said that you actually get companions, and those companions are people from the Three Kingdoms era. So I think
you might have mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only.
Awesome.
That's the thing that's gonna keep me. Even if I'm not enjoying it, it's gonna make me go, keep on playing, because you might find Pang Tong, or you might find Guan Yu, or and I'll just keep on playing it because in my brain it'll be, he might be around the next corner. So,
I'll be interested to see, and it is no knock on you if you give up before the first boss. I don't, whatever. But I don't think you'll get past that and want to continue with it. But I'd be interested. Yeah, see.
Cool.
All right, then, shall I go? It's a follow-up on last week with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've obviously been hammering that, so I think last week I'd played 10 hours or so by the podcast, so that was the first couple of days. My Switch tells me I've played between 30 and 35 hours now, and that was just after the first 10 days. So I've put in a decent shift.
You've put in a work week, Ben.
Yes. Yeah, work week, a little work week. More than I do with my real work anyway.
Yes.
So there are 4 main dungeons in the game, and I've done 2 of them, and I'm on the path to kind of the 3rd. I'm planning to get all the dungeons done in the main story before Diablo 4 comes out. So Diablo 4 is out next Friday. No, because I am going to get early access, so it's next Friday for me, and it's Monday now, so it's Tuesday now, so it's a week and a half away, which I reckon is fine, the rate that I'm playing.
Another work week and you're there.
Yeah, but I don't want to rush this game, because the beauty of this game is that this game lasts however long you want it to, because I think that the main campaign could be done in, I think they say on how long to be, like 45 hours for the main story. But you don't want to just hammer the dungeons and the final boss. Presumably, there's loads more to it. Like, this is a game to be enjoyed, and there's not a lot of games these days where I say that. Even like Jedi Survival, which I really, really enjoyed, but I basically just wanted to do the game. I don't see a tremendous amount of value doing infinite side quests. I'll do things here and there and do whatever comes across my path, but this is a game where you're just like locked in the world. We've discussed that. It's like the Skyrim feel kind of thing. So and there's so many things that you set yourself a little task and you go, right, well, it's not a little task, it'll be an epic adventure that you set yourself on. This is a couple of evenings work to go and get that particular armor set. So that, something like that. But this game, I really do believe is a step up from Breath of the Wild in like every game. I don't want to play Breath of the Wild anymore. Like that game is now gone. I think this is better in every way from memory. I don't think there's I can't think of a way that Breath of the Wild was better than this. The world actually feels lived in, and my only reservation with Breath of the Wild was that walking around the world, at sometimes it did feel a little empty. But what this obviously there's a myriad of things to do, but it felt, I don't know, just felt something was missing. Whereas this game, there's always something. Like there's always something around every corner that distracts you and does something else, and it's brilliant for that. I mean, this is obviously an open world game, and the problem I think a lot of people get, so talk about like an Ubisoft game or something like that, or Far Cry. I mean, you guys have played a lot of Far Cry and stuff. That kind of open world fatigue that you get with markers and like Assassin's Creed games, there's just everything on there's things to tick off everywhere. This doesn't have that. This has got that kind of Elden Ring approach, so it doesn't have anything. Like, it does give you some quest markers for the main quests and things like that, to give you a bit of an idea of where to go, which is great. But the actual land itself, there are no markers, and it's a refreshing approach. Obviously, Breath of the Wild have it. There's a number of other games that do it as well. But when you don't feel like you need to do anything, because you don't get much from doing anything. And that sounds counterintuitive, but you don't get experience points. You don't level up. Like, this isn't... You get... By doing shrines in the world, you get... you have to do 4 of them, and then you can get more health, or you can get more stamina. And that's it. Like, if you defeat better enemies and stuff, you'll pick up better loot. So you might pick up some better weapons. You might get better... creature parts to fuse to your weapons and stuff to make your weapons more powerful, and you'll do some side quests that eventually, when you've done enough and it's been about 5 hours later, you'll get to the conclusion of getting a piece of armor. But nothing in the open world is that important, but everything is important to you. Like, you want to do everything, but if you miss something, it doesn't matter. And I think that's the beauty of the game. Like, you are truly feeling like you're living in the world, because you may take down, you might see a lot of enemies somewhere, and it's like, oh Christ, there's a like an enemy camp, and you'll take it down, and your reward will be 5 arrows. Or it could be something that you could then sell, or maybe it's a nice shield or something. You just don't know what you're gonna get, and I think it's fantastic for that. Like, just stumbling across stuff, you do it, you don't do it. The other day I went into this cave, and I spent about an hour like to get out this whole cave, get through it all. I got a full armor set down there. There was a boss fight. I got loads of stuff that I could sell, and it was like, wow, I've just been on an epic hour adventure through this random cave. And it's just like that. Sometimes just I love this game for its just little quests that you give yourself. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go after this thing. And it's just absolutely wonderful to get lost in. Like, I played 35 hours in 10 days. You know, people play way more. People play 55 hours, 70 hours. And you just like, how the hell is that even possible? But you just get lost in it. You get lost in this fucking game. And Breath of the Wild was it was probably my favourite open world game ever that I've played. And this is better. It's phenomenal. Like, if you like open world games and you own a Switch, well, this is it. This is the game. And if you like open world games in general, and you haven't got the opportunity to play this game, then that's just I feel bad for you. This is a great game. This is the best of them. It's the best of them that I've played. And you're just completely and utterly lost. And it seems like everyone is feeling the same. It's so innovative. I talked last week about just the myriad of options you've got to complete any different task. The way that people complete things that you don't with. And the dungeons that I've done. The first dungeon that I did, I was just like, in the boss battle, I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. Like, the boss battle was just so fucking good. Anybody who's done like the Wind Temple, I'm not gonna no spoilers, but the act of getting to the dungeon, to getting to the temple, was a fucking epic ordeal. Like, it was so it was so long and arduous to get there. Then you actually get there, do the Wind Temple, do the dungeon, and the boss battle is fucking phenomenal. And you're like, and the music, I'm like, this is outstanding. How has this happened? Then even today, like I'm 35 hours into the game, I don't feel like I've touched the servers. I think I've just I'm looking things up online, like cool things to do and stuff, and it's like, how am I ever going to have the time to do this? Like I wanted a particular armor set, and and it's like, you have to do these 12 side quests to get it. Wow, how am I going to do that? Like, this is amazing. and I don't want it to end, and I think it's one of those games that it doesn't end until you say it ends. That's the beauty, because the content is so much that you can do the main dungeons, do the story, but you can come back to this, and it ends when you want. That's how many games do that? Like there's not many. It's fucking special. This is special.
Awesome. Sound of a good game, that.
So hear about that again next week.
Yes, indeed. I'm still shocked you actually finished.
Quite snappy for you then.
Yeah, waxing lyrical with it though. But I like that. So that brings us on to Eddy's Real Deal Part 2, doesn't it?
Woo!
It's back, baby.
It's back. And it's the Game Pass edition. So how have you approached it, Eddy?
I have just gone through every single game that is on Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, written them on a little list on my phone, and then I deleted all ones that I went, I'm pretty sure they've played it. And then I quickly before the podcast said, guys, have you... And to be fair, I was quite accurate, wasn't I? I was like...
You were.
Yeah, there was... In fact, there wasn't one game that I knew about. Maybe I should have kept more games on there.
So, I think just to explain this for people that didn't listen to the last feature or maybe forgotten.
That's kind of where I was going with this, but...
Yeah,
yes.
So you're essentially going through, and last time, if people don't remember, last time Eddy picked a load of really cheap games, didn't you? You went through and picked like £1 games. And then suggested games for us to play. We went away and played them, and then a couple of weeks later came back and actually reviewed them or gave our impressions and commended Eddy on his excellent choice of picking games for us.
That's a bit weird.
Okay. So, yeah.
Don't like praise. I don't work well with praise, but that's fine.
Well, you've got a lot to live up to now, so you've gone through Game Pass and picked games out specifically for us.
But that's not fair because my talent is finding cheap games. But I think I've done myself proud here.
This was an interesting one because this is these are all technically free if you pay the Game Pass entry fee. So
okay. Well, what I'll do is I've found 3 games each. That I think you might be interested in. I want you to pick one of those 3 games. I've also, at the end, I've got a little game that I think all of us should play, and I think all of us should come back on the podcast and tell us what we thought about it.
Perfect.
Do we want to, we haven't discussed this previously, but of the games that you mentioned that aren't for us, should we pick one for Kirk?
Curveball at the end. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right. Okay. Well, let me go through the games that didn't make the short playlist of 3. The short list of 3, I should say. Yeah. So first one was Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. Pete, I was looking at this for you because you like Warhammer, and it looks like a bit of a thwacky game. Looks okay. Have you seen it?
It does, yeah, I have seen it. It's got very mixed reviews, but I can see why you'd consider it.
Yeah, it's one of those Warhammer games which people just go, nah, it's not worth it. Because there's so fucking many of them that go by the wayside. But it's one of those that I thought, for free, Pete might give it a try, but didn't make the cut. The next one I've got is Ghost Recon Wildlands.
You loved that, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm no stranger to this game. I have probably chucked in the arbitrary 1,000 hours that I say I play in all games.
Yeah.
All top games that I say. But I probably have. Is there a way of seeing it on Game Pass?
There is a way of seeing it on Xbox, but I'm not going to talk you through it.
Yeah, plus I think I actually bought it anyway when it came out, but that's fine. That's an open world third-person shooter where you're in a squad and you go around, and it's got a good story. The world is stunning, and it's got loads of different areas. The only downside is once you know where like the good attachments are, you just fly the helicopter straight to it because it's a huge open world where you can go to any part of it. So,
but once you've done it once, yeah,
exactly. To be honest with you, I wasn't picking this for either of you. It was more because I fucking love the game and I couldn't leave it out on this list.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, sozzle. I've got Fallout 4. Ben, you said the other day that you'd never played Fallout 4, which I thought was disgusting and shameful.
It makes me throw up a bit in my mouth every time I think about it.
It is shameful, definitely.
Yeah, I went home and cried when you said that last week.
I mean, you're already home, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, where from?
There you go. No, I don't record at home. I record in the studio, don't you know?
Right, of
Oh,
course.
right, okay, fine.
There you go.
Your audio should be a bit better. No,
It should be better. You'd think it would be, but it's
Yeah,
not.
you would.
Yeah. Next one, Edge of Eternity. I chose this for selfish reasons. I think I've downloaded this twice on my Xbox because I love the look of it. It's got really good mechanics. It looks a bit too JRPG for me. But I just want someone that I trust to play it and tell me that it's really good so I can play it.
I think Pete. I think it's a time commitment, isn't it? But it looks amazing. I think Pete would be a good one to give you an opinion, but maybe some other time.
There you go. Next one, Jurassic World Evolution 2. I reviewed this a couple months ago, and I do actually think it's a really, really good kind of management sim game. I think like there's loads of different things of like zooming in and driving a car and helicopter and stuff. I think, yeah.
I have a really vivid memory of me pushing my golf cart up a hill and just hearing Eddie bang on about Jurassic World Evolution 2 while I was trying to push this thing, and me thinking like, I'm just trying to get up a hill.
Okay, right, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I really loved it, Ben. I thought it was actually really good. Like, of those kind of management games, I think there's none out there that's better right now, and that's free on Game Pass, so what do you want? Next one, not going to talk much about this, Medieval Dynasty. I think it's an absolute fucking wonderful game. I think it's made it into 2 of our Game of the Year discussions.
It came 3rd, I think, in our Game of the Year 2 years ago.
There you go. Well, that's on Game Pass. Maybe. Give it a try. It's a fucking brilliant game. Shadow of Mordor. Bit of a shit choice, to be honest with you, but I didn't mind the game. So
yeah, no, I think Game Pass. I think that's a great option. Great option.
There you go. Last 2, Weird West. I got a code for that game. I reviewed it, and I was fucking pleasantly surprised about how good it is. Good RPG.
I was fucking pleasantly surprised.
Well, you know what I mean.
The faint praise there. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be terrible. I actually really enjoyed it. There's a YouTube video of me saying how good it is. So check that out and then play it on Xbox Game Pass. And then the last one, I've got Wasteland 3 or 1. You know what's really pissed me off is Wasteland 2, I think, is a fucking amazing game. Like, top 5, in my opinion. 3, I was disappointed with. I've played it, I think, 4 or 5 times to try and get into it. Never have. And 1 is really basic. Like, it's an old game, so fair enough. And it's typical that fucking 1 and 3 are on Game Pass. But, yeah, there you go.
Of the 2, which one do you think would be best?
Definitely 3. Because Wasteland 1, although good, it is fucking dated. It's... Woo!
Yes.
Let's have a look. Wasteland 1 came out in 1988.
Whoa.
Wow.
No.
Yep.
Came out the same year as we did. Okay.
Yes. Yes, this game is as old as me. There you go.
Needs a relaunch.
So you can see why Wasteland 3 might be a little bit modern as it came out last year.
Slight upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Slight. Right, but let's get to the crux of it. Let's start with one for Pete. The Last Case of Benedict Fox. This is that absolutely charming game that we've seen recently. It only came out, I think, was it 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago.
I think. Have you seen it, Pete?
I have indeed, yes. We talked about it on this very show, Eddie, a few weeks ago. I'm not surprised you put it on here. I may even have already downloaded it. You know.
There you go. Yeah, sexy visuals, getting good reviews. I think that could be a nice one. Ben, on to one of yours. Let's go with Terraria. So,
lovely.
A bit like a game like Starbound that I played the other day. Terraria is kind of the original gangster, if you will. Really good game. Bit 2D. You don't mind a bit of crap graphics now and again. But the mechanics, it's all about the mechanics. It's kind of a ongoing game. I assume you've heard of it.
Always wanted to play it. I've always wanted to play it. I even considered buying it fairly recently on the Switch. I didn't know it was on Game Pass, so this is a welcome bit of news, actually.
Didn't know.
In that spirit, there is that Far World Pioneers coming out very soon, isn't it? On Game Pass as well.
Yes.
Which you'll be interested in, Eddie. So
there you go.
I think that's out in like a week's time or something like that.
Yeah, it should have been in our new releases.
Yeah, I'm now questioning why. It
now
wasn't
I'm questioning it as well. Now I'm like, Far World
Pioneers.
It's
Release
right.
date.
We'll look at that and we'll have a word with Pete later on. There we go. Right, next one. Let's go to Pete and let's say Bannerlord. We all know this has made it into Game of the Year twice. Somehow. I've wormed it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you sneaked it through both times, yes.
It's an absolute brilliant masterpiece of a game. Ben's already played it, so I had to suggest it for you, Pete. It's on Game Pass. It's free. I paid 50 quid for this game.
Even I paid money for it. I paid 30 quid or something.
You know, I do find it ridiculous I haven't jumped in and played it yet.
Absolutely. You'd love it. It's your era that you love. It's medieval. Yes. It's management with combat. You can be
the first
anything.
one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we all agree that the graphics of the first one stands up today. So.
First one was so rough. Oh my
First
god,
one
when I
is
played
so
that on Game
good,
Pass. When I played that on Game
Dare
Pass.
you?
Oh my god.
That game is so good that me, the cheapest gamer on the planet, bought it on PC and on Xbox. Bought it on two consoles.
It was
Ben, if you'd also,
tragic to look
if you
at.
played it in the same epoch it was released, you
Yeah, I know.
understood,
I know.
Yes.
But you know what?
Such a
Pete?
good game.
Pete, Ben did raise a very good point because I went like, no, it was all right when it came out. And Ben looked it up and he went, it came out the same year as Skyrim. And I was like, oh shit, okay, right. Maybe the graphics was not great.
The graphics were never its strongest point, but they weren't quite as heinous as when Ben got to it in 2021.
No, they were a weak point. Not
Yes.
just not its strongest point. They were a
Exactly,
weakness.
yeah. Yes, that's it.
Oh, it's like when I went back to Oblivion a couple of months
Oh,
ago and I
so-
went, oh shit, I
It makes
can't
me
play
so
this.
sad because I really want to play it, but yes.
I can't play this. Next one, Ben. I am going to choose Railway Empire 2. Now, this is an absolute delight. So it's a
Take my
railway management. Let me finish. Jesus. So it's got the management aspect. It's got the sim aspect that I know you absolutely love. The visuals are absolutely stunning. It just looks like an absolutely fantastic game. I can't say absolute anymore. It's £45 on Steam. You can pick it up tomorrow. It comes out on Game Pass.
Cool. Right, I am going to look this up in the background whilst we're moving on. Before
This could be Ben's forever game right there.
Do you know what? I was just about to say, turn me on. I like saying that. And I like saying that I'm not going to say it and then go follow through with saying it. You know what really turns me on is it's published by Calypso Media, and they're the ones that do not only the Commandos games, but the Tropico games. The Tropico games that I have chucked thousands of hours in collectively. So I know they do good management games.
oh yes,
Whew, you could be onto something there.
this looks like a treat, Eddie. But yeah, okay.
They also published Startopia as well, which was a very good game. Anyway, let's move on to Pete's last one. This War of Mine Final Cut. You told us last week, Pete, that you'd never played this War of Mine.
Indeed.
It's a really hardcore but very enjoyable. I don't know if the word's enjoyable. I don't know enjoyable. Do you enjoy your game? But Pete's that kind of gamer. Pete likes that he doesn't enjoy playing games. He plays RimWorld.
I want it to be torturous, yes. Yeah, no.
He's not a man who seeks enjoyment in life. He has a different purpose.
Punishment.
Yes.
Difficulty, yes.
And this War of Mine is the most punishing of games.
It's fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That'd be a good one.
This is an interesting way of like the Game Pass version of Eddie's Real Deals. I wasn't sure it was going to work, but I quite like it because instead of like throwing out left field choices where I'm like, what even is this? I need to look at.
And you have to look up, quickly type it in.
Whereas these are ones I'm like, actually, how have I not realised this is on Game Pass?
Yeah, you've got
I should
3
just be
quality
playing.
suggestions, right?
Yeah.
3 good games, all that are free. So, right, and Ben, your last one is the world famous Stardew Valley.
Yes.
I paid, I think, good money. I think about £30 for this game when it came out. I absolutely love it. I know that you liked
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Bloody hell, you read my mind there. And you loved that. And this is pretty similar. I mean, it's single player, but it's just really, really charming. And I really enjoyed playing it. And that takes a lot for a single player game like this. But when it's done right, and this game is done right, you really enjoy playing it. You actually feel good when you go to bed. It's not like when me and Pete play RimWorld and we go to bed and we have, PTSD and have shakes all night. But this game, you actually feel wholesome and you smile and you don't shout at your girlfriend for snoring and stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's an insight. But I have never played this, and it's it's one of those that you would have expected me to play.
Yes, exactly. Right. With that, Pete, I've given you a whole 30 seconds to think about it. What one of your games, and they are The Last Case of Benedict Fox, Bannerlord, or This War of Mine, what game is going to be your game?
I think it has to be Bannerlord.
Yeah.
I bet you are. I mean, it's one of those where I'm committing to play a bit of it, which is a bit tricky with Bannerlord because I could lose a week.
Yes.
But
more than a week.
I know, I mean as in every hour, not as in just like the gaming time for that week. I mean,
correct.
144 hours, yes. Back to back with no sleep and no job anymore. So it's a risk, but I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
I would have felt a bit cheeky saying Last Case of Benedict Fox because I have downloaded it.
Right, yeah.
I think it's just sitting there waiting for me. This War of Mine is also really interesting, but I think Bannerlord, I loved Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
I wanted to play Bannerlord. It's been wishlisted since way before even early access release. So why in the hell haven't I played it yet?
Yeah. Well, I think just to remind people that we will play these and we'll talk about them in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
So if anybody else wants to join in and play Bannerlord, one of Eddy's most favourite games ever, I imagine?
Top 10. Top 10.
Top 10. It's gone down in the pecking order, but top 10.
Every game of the year, it's like the best game of all time, or second.
Yeah, because I wanted to win, obviously. Yeah. I don't actually think that. Jesus.
But if somebody, if
trust you.
People listening want to play that and then tell us what they think of it, to either agree with Eddy or insult him, then
yes.
I guess 2 weeks time. 2 weeks time.
Wow, we're encouraging that. Right. Okay. That's harsh. All right, Ben, let's come to you. So your choices were Terraria, Railway Empire 2, hint, hint, and Stardew Valley. Which one are you going to choose?
Well, it's definitely between Terraria and Railway Empire 2.
Terraria's shit, Ben. It's an absolute shit game. It's got crap graphics. It's
not, though.
No mechanics whatsoever. It's boring.
It's I think I owe it to myself to play Railway Empire 2.
Yes. Lovely. It does look incredible. I think the mechanics will be deep. It's from a great publisher. I think it's will be a really good game. And Ben, I'm looking forward to you telling me, because I think I'm gonna download it as soon as you tell me it's a half decent game.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah.
I like these features because it's just me being selfish. And me. It's my way of doing game research without actually doing much stuff.
How is this out tomorrow when it wasn't in the new releases?
Don't ask these things,
Pete. You've got a lot of questions to answer here, but we're not going to do it right now. We'll do it. We will do that in due course behind the scenes.
We won't. I'll ignore your calls, but yes.
You've got to cancel it. I've got one more for you though, boys. I have the game that we're all going to play, and we all have to talk about. Now, I could have been mean here. I could have chosen a game that I know I would fucking love and none of you would like. But I have chosen, only because I think we should all play and I think it looks brilliant, is Planet of Lana. Do you remember we talked about this last week in the new releases?
We did, yes.
This, for our listeners, is a platformer adventure game which the visuals are stunning. It looks, dare I say it, I don't like saying it, but it looks so charming. It's supposed to be story rich. It's supposed to be, I was going to say environmental friendly. That's not the term I was looking for, but let's just go with it.
Right,
I am really looking forward to playing this, and it's not my kind of game, but I also know it's your kind of games. So, are you happy with this decision?
So we're going to play that for next week? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We are. Yes.
Fine. Okay, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So you didn't answer my question if you're happy with that.
I'm not.
I'll tell you next week.
Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play it. We'll play it. All right. Good choices there. Do we want to pick one for Kirk that he'll obviously ignore and not play?
Oh yeah, but then there's that rejection of I haven't played it. Oh, and also I'm not on the podcast.
If he does actually turn up for an episode, then he'll be like, "Oh, I'm the one without the game."
Yeah, he won't have listened to the episode because he's too busy doing frames, so he won't even know that we picked one.
He won't even know.
Let's give him a new. I reckon give him Last Case of Benedict Fox, because then he wouldn't mind playing that anyway. We're not being mean. We're just saying, can you play that game?
Plus, it's not too complex. It's not that long. Exactly. So I think that's actually perfect.
And
you
know what
he'll do? I was
do?
going to suggest Wasteland 1, so I'm quite sad. But yeah,
he'll play. He can play Last Case of Benedict Fox for 20 minutes and pretend that he's played it for 6 hours.
He will.
Yes.
But what's good about that is we won't know if he's lying, because a lot of those games it is the same throughout. So that'll be quite good for everyone.
No, you know what I'll do? I'll check how long he's played it.
There we go. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah. So if anyone else wanted Eddie to make a selection for them, that's pressure on you, Eddie. How would they get in touch to let us know, Ben?
Well, if somebody wants a personalised selection
I'll do
Eddie,
it. I'll fucking do it.
Well, for that reason, tweet us at Grumpy Gamers Pod if you want a personalised selection, or you can just play one of the games that we're going to play and then give us your opinion before 2 weeks' time, because then we'll talk about it. I know a couple did that last time, and I know John bought a couple of the games that you put out there, Eddie. At Grumpy Gamers Pod on Twitter. You can email us podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk as well.
Fantastic. But for this week, it's GG.
GG.
GG.